Liberal Viewer present.
So Fox News seems to spend a lot of time trying to increase negative perceptions of Democratic candidates running for president, no matter how nonsensical or nitpicky the source of the negativity. In the case of Barack Obama, before he even announced he was running for president, CNN was debunking a Fox News spread rumor based on unnamed sources that Barack Obama attended a radical madrasa elementary school. And this week, when Barack Obama reiterated his support for teaching age-appropriate sex education, meaning for very young kids teaching them to stay safe from predators, Fox News took it and turned it into multiple stories and teasers like this one.
I remember Alan Keyes saying Barack Obama supports teaching sex education to kindergartners, but it's the right thing to do.
Is Barack Obama really advocating sex ed for 5-year-olds?
Notice how Fox uses pictures of condoms and birth control pills, even though Obama was just talking about things like teaching kids to report inappropriate touching. But it may have been back on July 12th that Fox News reached its nadir of nitpickiness with coverage of Obama at the NAACP debates you can see here.
More than one rival campaign pointed out Obama's use of notes during the debate. We have this shot of Obama's arm reaching back to his podium to retrieve a legal pad.
Now, debate rules permit notes, but this episode will almost certainly be used by Obama critics who have said in the past that the senator is not experienced enough nor versed in the issues enough to be president.
I guess that Fox News prediction that this episode will almost certainly be used by Obama's critics has already come true now that the story's aired on Fox News. But what makes that story so strange is that it aired the same day Fox News covered George W. Bush in his first presidential press conference in the remodeled White House press room, where it was obvious the president himself engaged in the supposedly unpresidential practice of using notes. You can see Bush turning the page here, and even putting away one folder here at the end of his prepared remarks. But those weren't Bush's only notes. In an exchange with NBC News' David Gregory, Bush had additional notes clearly visible when he began answering this question.
David.
President, you've said many times this war at this stage is about the Iraqi government creating a self-sustaining, stable government. Last November, your own CIA director, according to the Washington Post, told you about that government, quote, "The inability of the government to govern seems irreversible. He could not point to any milestone or checkpoint where we can turn this thing around." And he said, in talking about the government, that it's balanced, but it cannot function. Yeah. When you heard that, since that point, you think of how many hundreds of soldiers have been killed, how much money has been spent. Why shouldn't people conclude that you were either stubborn, in denial, but certainly not realistic about the strategy that you've pursued since then?
You know, it's interesting. It turns out Mike Hayden, I think you're quoting Mike Hayden there.
Look, right there. Bush is putting his hand on what must be the Michael Hayden section of his notes. And as he continues with his answer, you can see him repeatedly glancing down to quote from those notes. Which leads me to ask honestly, are a large number of viewers' opinions of Barack Obama really negatively affected by these fairly transparent Fox News attack pieces? And, including Obama, which Democratic presidential candidate do you think Fox News will most smear in the upcoming election season?
YouTube, you decide.